Hello everyone, I am Sulekha Sharma and welcome to Sulekha Physics classes. It is the most easiest way to learn all the concept of physics through this class. Today I am coming with one more new topic of this chapter, wave optics, that is sources of light. There are two sources of light, one is coherent and the other one is incoherent sources of light. What are these sources of light and what is the need for this to study these sources of light in case of this interference? Why? But before starting these coherent and incoherent sources of light, you must remember the different conditions for constructive and destructive interference of light, which we already discussed in the last class. Okay, in the last class we discussed about that when two sources of light interfere at some point on the screen. Suppose there are two sources, one source is at this one S1, another source is at S2, and these two sources are derived from the same source, right? And here is a screen. When these two sources strike or superimpose at this point P on the screen, then at the point of superposition, total resultant intensity becomes maximum or minimum, either greater than the sum of these two or less than the sum of these two individual waves. So what are different conditions for this maximum and minimum intensity? You must remember this one, it's very important. Okay, when we study about next topic, that is Young's double slit experiment. So first you write conditions for constructive interference. Constructive interference means intensity maximum, or you can say maxima also. Okay, so you know, in case of constructive interference we already derived these things. Actually these two sources have not the same path. One is taken is S1P part, another one is taken this S2P part, and due to this there is a path difference between these two sources, right? This is the path difference. Suppose S1M is the path difference denoted by delta X, and due to this path difference there is a phase difference, constant phase difference between these two sources, and hence interference patterns are formed on the screen. Okay, so what is the value of these path difference and phase difference? First, phase difference. What is the condition for phase difference in case of constructive interference? This phi equal to 2n pi, even multiple of this pi, where n equal to 0, 1, 2, and path difference delta x is even multiple of lambda by 2. I can write n lambda. Okay, here also n equal to 0, 1, 2, and so on. So these are the conditions for constructive interference. Phase difference must be even multiple of pi, and path difference must be even multiple of lambda by 2. So what type of this pattern formed on this screen? Suppose this is the center of the screen O, okay, and here when the light reaches at the center of the screen from the two sources, these two have same path, there is no path difference, and if there is no path difference is 0. Here if you put n equal to 0, right? When n equal to 0, path difference is also 0. So this is the condition for maximum intensity. It means at the center of the screen, here center of the screen, maximum intensity, or you can say bright fringe. Intensity is maximum, bright fringe is formed. Bright pattern is formed at this center of the screen. Now when n equal to 1, this path difference is what? Lambda. When n equal to 2, this path difference is what? 2 lambda. It means first bright fringe is formed at the center of the screen, then first bright fringe is formed at a distance lambda, and it means suppose this is distance lambda and first bright fringe is formed. Again another bright fringe is formed at distance 2 lambda. In this way, and this n may be positive or negative, plus minus 1, plus minus 2, okay, plus minus 1, plus minus, it means this plus lambda also, minus lambda also. So this side also, both sides of the screen bright fringes are formed, at a distance of lambda, and also at the center of the screen maximum intensity is there. Now these are the conditions for constructive interference. Again, conditions for destructive interference, right? Okay. I'm writing here. Conditions for destructive interference. Destructive interference means minima, when intensity is minimum, okay, minima is there. So what is the condition for this one? For this, phase difference must be, this phi must be odd multiple of pi, okay, and path difference must be odd multiple of lambda by 2. Here n equal to 1, 2, 3, and it starts from 1. If you take twice n plus 1, then n starts from 0, okay. So what are different positions for this minima on the screen? When you put n equal to 1, first n is 1, it means what? This phi is 0, and path difference n is 1. N is 1 means path difference is this 2 minus 1, lambda, okay, lambda by 2, I think n is 1, so this 2 minus 1, 1, lambda by 2. So when n is 1, path difference is lambda by 2, and when n is 2, again when n is 2, 2 to the 4, minus 1, 3, path difference is 3 lambda by 2. It means on the screen minimum intensity positions are this one. First minimum position is at a distance from the center of the screen is lambda by 2. This is the distance between the center of the screen and first bright is formed at lambda. So lambda by 2 is between this one, central fringe, and first bright fringe. So first minima or first dark fringe, you can say, dark point is formed in between these two bright fringes. Again, second minima, 3 lambda by 2. 3 lambda by 2 is in between lambda and 2 lambda. So here second dark fringe is formed. In the same way, negative side also, first dark fringe, second dark fringe. So in this way, interference pattern is formed on the screen. Interference pattern means fringes, okay, interference pattern are called fringes. So on the screen, actually at the center bright fringe is formed, and on both sides of this bright fringe, first bright fringe, then second bright fringe, in this way, and between these two bright fringe, first dark fringe, second dark fringe, here also first dark fringe, second dark fringe. So in this way, interference pattern is formed on the screen, and these are the conditions for constructive and destructive interference, right? Here, one thing you must note that these two sources which emits lights having same frequency and constant phase difference, okay, and that type of source is called coherent source. If source is not coherent, we do not form this interference pattern on the screen. Why? We'll discuss after this one, okay. First you must know what is coherent source, then incoherent source, then what is the need for this coherent source. If the source is not coherent, why interference pattern is not formed on the screen? Actually, we need static interference. Static interference pattern means stable, or you can say static interference pattern. If the interference pattern is static, then we can easily observe the pattern on the screen. Static or sustained interference means the point at which at one time maximum intensity is there, then next time also at that point maximum intensity, not maxima, minima. If frequency of the sources are different, phase difference is there, then at one point sometime it becomes maxima, sometime it becomes minima. That point is not stable. So that's why we need sustained interference, so that we can observe the interference pattern on the screen. Or to obtain sustained interference, we need this type of source, coherent source. So to produce sustained interference on the screen, we always need coherent source of light. Now what is the coherent source of light? Let us discuss this one, okay. Now sources of light. There are two sources of light. One is coherent, another one is incoherent source of light. What are these two sources? Okay, so let us first discuss coherent source. Actually, coherent source is used to produce sustained interference. You can write it is used to produce sustained interference. There is a term sustained interference. It means stable interference, static interference. It means at the point, suppose at this point dark is there. So always at this point dark. Dark means dark and bright means bright. There is no change in the intensity. It means interference pattern is stable, static, or you can say sustained interference. Why we need this sustained interference? So that we can observe the interference pattern easily on the screen. So to produce sustained interference, we need coherent source. What is this coherent source? Actually, two sources of light are said to be coherent. Suppose these are two sources of light. These two sources are said to be coherent if they emit continuously waves of same frequency. It means these two sources emits waves. You know, interference is a wave phenomena. So these two sources continuously emits wave. Continuously term is also very important. If the waves are not emitted continuously, then at one point, if you get suppose bright fringe, bright band, then after some time it stops because no waves are emitted. So these two sources must emit continuous waves. Okay, they emit continuously waves of same frequency. The frequency of these two waves are same, so that interference pattern produced on the screen is sustained or stable, right? Another thing, they must have constant phase difference between them. Constant phase difference means either the phase is 0 or constant means any angle 30 degree, 40 degree, but always remains constant. So these two sources are said to be coherent if they emit continuously waves of same frequency and also must have constant phase difference between them to produce sustained interference. Okay. Actually, when two waves superimpose at a point on the screen, then resultant intensity I is given by intensity of first wave plus intensity of second wave plus 2 under root I1 I2 cos phi. We already derived this equation, right? And this whole term is called actually interference term. This is interference term. So if, and this phi is what? Phi is phase difference. This phi is phase difference between the two waves. If this is constant, or you can say 0, right? If this cos phi is 0 or constant. Constant means any angle 30 degree, 40 degree, 50 degree between the two waves. Then at that time we get static interference. It means intensity always remains constant at that point. But if this cos phi is variable, varies with time, then what happens? This intensity also changes with time. Sometimes suppose cos 0 degree, the maximum, then cos 30, cos 45, it always remains changes with time. Then intensity I also changes with time. So we cannot obtain a static interference pattern on the screen. We obtain dynamic interference, and it's very difficult to observe dynamic interference. So we always consider sustained interference to observe interference pattern on the screen, and to obtain sustained interference we need this coherent source, right? This phase difference must be 0 or constant. They must have constant phase difference, or you can write must have 0 or constant phase difference. Okay, if this phase difference is not constant, then that type of source is called incoherent source. Okay, incoherent sources are those sources which does not have same frequency, and either also phase difference between the two sources may vary with time, changes with time. Okay, but to produce sustained interference we always need coherent source of light. Now how you get these two coherent source? Actually, two independent sources never be coherent source. Why? Let us discuss that one. Please take a screenshot, this one fast. Okay. Please take a screenshot for this one fast. Okay. Now, why two independent sources never be coherent? Let us discuss that one first. Now, why two independent sources never be coherent? Because to produce sustained interference, we need coherent source. Actually, suppose there are two sources, right? This one is first source and this is second source, S1 and S2. Even the tiniest source consists of millions of atoms, right? Suppose first atom, second atom, number of atoms are there in the sources, right? And at the center of each atom, nucleus is present and electrons revolves around this nucleus. Suppose, let us draw one atom, right? And this is center. These are different shells, okay? Electrons in first orbit 2 shells, second orbit 8 electrons, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then in this way, next orbit. If you supply some energy to this atom, then these electrons in the innermost orbit gains that energy and goes to the higher energy state, right? But these electrons feels comfortable in its own shell. So after some time, it comes back to its own shell by emitting a photon of energy. This photon is nothing but light energy. Then we get energy, light energy, right? When atoms come back to its original ground state from the higher state, then light energy is emitted. And all these millions of atoms of a source cannot emit waves in the same phase. All these electrons emit light independently, not at the same time, okay? Time is difference. So these millions of atoms of a source cannot emit waves in the same phase. Their phases are different. So two independent sources never be coherent. If in the exams, in 2 marks questions, it's very important or generally asked in the exams. So you write light is emitted by individual atom and not by the bulk of matter. Individual atom emits light, and all atoms does not emit light at the same time. They emit light independently, okay? So these millions of atoms of a source cannot wave light in the same phase. But to produce constant interference, we need constant phase or same phase difference. So two independent sources never be coherent. Now, how we produce two coherent sources? There are different methods to produce coherent sources. Let us discuss that one. Note down, okay? Now, methods for producing coherent sources to produce sustained interference. First method is by division of wavefront, and second one is by division of amplitude. In this method, by division of wavefront, what happens? Suppose there is one source. Suppose this is a source and this interference is a wave phenomenon. This source emits first wavefront, second wavefront, like this one, okay? And this wavefront, suppose there is an opaque substance here, this wavefront reaches at this point. So again, if there are two holes are there at these positions, so these wavefronts acts as a source to independent sources S1 and S2. And you know, according to Huygens principle, each point on these sources acts as a source of next wavefront. So again, these sources emits different wavefronts. These sources also emits different wavefronts, and these two wavefronts superimpose at some point on the screen. An interference pattern is formed. Now these two sources are obtained from the same source by division of wavefront. This wavefront is divided into these two sources, and again these two sources act as two different sources which have same frequency and constant phase difference, because both are derived from the same source. So in this way, by division of wavefront method, we get two coherent sources. Example for this source is Young's double slit experiment. After this topic, we will discuss about Young's double slit experiment, how we get interference pattern experimentally. Actually, we discuss all these things theoretically, but how we get interference pattern experimentally, it was explained by this Young's. Okay, so in Young's double slit experiment we get interference pattern, and in this way we find two coherent sources. So in this one you write wavefront is divided into two or more parts by use of slits, these two are slits, mirrors, lens, etc. Example Young's double slit, which is in our syllabus. We will discuss after this one. Then Fresnel's biprism, Lloyd's mirror, all these are examples for division of wavefront. Second one is by division of amplitude. Suppose there is one source, suppose this is a candle, right? This is a candle, it emits light, and if you place two mirrors here, right, it emits waves. One wave reaches to this point and the wave reaches to this point. Again these waves reflected from these mirrors and reach to the observer's eye, right? So these two waves or sources obtained from the same source by division of this amplitude method. So these two sources also acts as a coherent source. This is in case of thin film. Newton's rings are examples of this one, which are not in our syllabus. We only discuss this Young's double slit experiment in this chapter. Okay, after that diffraction topic starts. So these are different methods for producing coherent sources. Take a screenshot for this one. With this, I am going to end the class. In the next lecture, we will discuss Young's double slit experiment, that is very important from the examination point of view. In that one, how Young's explained experimentally interference pattern on the screen, right? Till then, students, keep revising and stay tuned with this channel. Thank you.